Kadash.
The bonds to the apostles and the elders of Millstone, tells us truly good well. And peace, blessings, and salutations be to the hopeful elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel and may you endure to the end, Lord willing. All right, and we're just gonna get into, like I said, a quick hit, based around, the particular title I had for this lesson is now is not the time to get weak. All right, and we should automatically be girding up the loins of our mind, all right, our bodies, mentally, physically, and spiritually, all right, on all levels, man. Seeing that these things of, the prophecies that, we've been preaching for years, all right, in our short time, and, from the elder apostles on down to the youngest man, see these things coming to truth, all right, in which we knew it would, right, but we ultimately know that there's more to come, all right. So now is not the time to get weak, all right, whether it's mentally, all right, physically, all right, but most, first and foremost, spiritually, man, all right. But you can start me off with that, Job.
It's the book of Job, chapter 38 and verse 2. It reads, "Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me."
Right, and it's the angel telling Job to gird up the loins, all right, his loins like a man, all right. You gird up your loins, all right, that's basically, a figure of speech, in which you're preparing yourself to walk through a path, right? Like it says in Matthew, brother might have to grab that Matthew 7 and like 13.
Yeah, I got it.
Because we getting ready to walk that street gate, man, all right? Well, it's gonna, brother gonna get it, all right? And we're gonna see why the angel told Job to gird up his loins like a man, all right? And he said, "I will demand of thee, and answer thou me," all right? You wanna say something, bro?
Yeah, nah, you got me thinking about that movie, Saving Private Ryan. You ever watched it?
Yeah.
They had that the scene with the guy who was scared to go up the stairs. Who was just really just afraid of the moment.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of battle, but in the time when you're supposed to act and let all the things that you've been practicing, through the time that you had to practice, was supposed to kick in, and you were supposed to, do what you're supposed to do at that moment. But that was an example of somebody who didn't have their loins girded, in a time of trouble, in a time of need.
Right. Yeah. And men in this truth, men that's pushing this word, hey man, you got to be girded up at all times, man. All right, whether you on a job, you out with your family, you out with, brothers, we still be on point and we girded up because we expect for things to go down at any moment, all right? Especially now, seeing with the whole thing with Iran and, the Israelis, all right, and the U.S. and all these other nations that's eventually going to get involved, all right, in this war, all right, it has to be something that has to happen in order for them to bring forth the MOTP.
That's right.
You see? So that's why we got to keep our loins girded up like a man, all right? Give me that 1 Peter 1 and 13 real quick, and we'll get that Matthew 7.
Yeah.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 13. It says, "Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach."
Right, it said gird up the loins of your mind, all right, and be sober, being what? Spiritually focused, all right, locked in, man. You see? This is what we need to be doing in these latter times, knowing that we got to go, that Jacob's trouble is happening now, all right, but it's eventually going to get worse, all right? That people are actually going to starve to death. You're actually going to be, like Allen Iverson did to Tyronn Lue, all right? You're going to be stepping over bodies, man. You see? These are the things that you need to be preparing your mind for, all right? Go ahead.
Now I'm going to say this. It's kind of like, when you had a big game on Friday, right? And Jake will be studious from Monday to Thursday and act an ass Friday and can't play in the game.
Right.
That's the day you're supposed to be, locked in because you're about to play.
Yeah.
Right.
And we getting down to that final test, that final moment. It's finna be game day for us, man.
Yep.
There's no time to fuck off.
Hey, if I can add to you, and I'm gonna add to you by reading the next verse by Bashar Kashab.
Go ahead.
Verse 14, it says, "As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the form of lust in your ignorance." And like you said, as obedient children, you know, focusing, you know, in the time of when it's time, like you just said, Kalai, when it's time to play that game, you know,
Right.
you was focused and you had your conduct correct, you know, and you was ready for the moment to play in the game. You know, they got a lot of people that don't even know that game day is approaching.
Right.
You know, and then all of a sudden when a whistle blows, you know, they're gonna get their head knocked off just because they don't even know that they in the game. You know, but us, you know, the men, you know, that have been working, you know, they're gonna click and, you know exactly what to do, you know, through the spirit.
That's right.
That's a good point. You know. Yeah.
Matthews.
Yeah. You get that word straight, Bobby Shaw.
All right, let me get it in the
Letter. Yeah, man. And it's nothing like having the upper hand or an advantage, all right, in the game. And the Lord has given us the advantage, man. So what's the point in getting weak-minded, right? Yeah, we understand we got, you know, different ailments and infirmities, all right? Satan attacking us, all right? But we got to let that shit go. The Lord ain't give us the spirit of fear, man. You know? Got it?
Yeah, I'm looking for this.
Just bring the scripture out, right?
Matthew 7:13. It reads, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go entreat." It says, verse 14, "Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it." Slack it, bro.
Right. It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate," though. All right. And that word, straight, is STRAIT. All right. Which, you know, ultimately means the brother was looking for it, but you don't gotta get it.
It just say narrow.
Right.
Obstacles.
Yeah, you gotta get in the Edamine.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
Edamine, yeah. But it basically means, you know, a position of difficulty. All right. It says the same thing in Job, the 20th chapter, when it talks about Esau fulfilling his NWO. All right, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he's going to be in straits. All right, why? Because he's going to be in a difficult position. You see, so us, we're going to be in that same difficult position in order to do what? Inherit the kingdom of heaven. You see, because it's going to be a lot of turmoil. It's going to be a lot of things happening to where, you know, it's going to be easy for a lot of men who aren't a part of the elect to get weak. You know, these guys in these other camps, right? That just, you know, submersed in folly and bullshit. We can clearly see, you know, unless Yahweh Bashim Yahushai have mercy on them and, you know, deal with them, you know. But other than that, they're going to get weak, and they're going to go and take to see him, man. You know. Go ahead.
No, I just want to bring out a few key points here in this definition. It says sense of difficulty, right? It says controversial. It says when you go down to the adjective, it says tight, close fitting. It says constricted, strict, stern. I wanted to bring that out because this is a strict program, you know. This, and when you go into the like it said earlier in the Matthew the 7th chapter, it says wide is the gate. That's not strict. That's not confined, right? The world lets you be as free as you want to be. All right, but you have to hold yourself, you know, accountable first and foremost in this truth of ours. And we got a strict program going on, man.
And if I can add to you, you know, really it's so easy to do anything of the flesh.
Right.
You know, it's easy to please the flesh, you know, but when it comes to, like you say, that strict program of the discipline that you have to, of the spiritual things you need to do, you know, that's another task in itself. But that's something that's required, you know, that the Lord, you know, being disciples, being disciplined, you know.
If I could say real quick, that's why you always hear older brothers tell younger brothers. I myself have been told it, and also these brothers, especially coming from a place like New Orleans, just keep your business simple. You know, when you look at the life of a prophet, it's very simple. Okay, it's not you know, super fantastic. You know, it ain't spontaneous. It's, man, Jake lived, you know, strict lives, man.
Yeah.
And that's because the world is like this brother said, it's so easy to go off the path.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is how we have to do things. If, you know, now and in the times of JT.
Yeah.
Because Jake gonna think you can just do whatever you want at JT. Or, man, I gotta eat this pork, this Vienna sausages. We ain't got nothing. Nah, man, wait on the Lord. The program is still the same.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, in another form, that's beautiful you brought that up, because another form of getting weak, all right, is violating your integrity. All right?
yeah,
The things, what's this?
being fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
Having fear.
Mm-hmm.
Jake feared death more than the Lord, man.
Yeah.
He the one that issued that.
But you know, that's the betraying your integrity.
Yeah,
Yeah, betraying of the Sakors.
that's right. What's that word Sakor going to help, man? When you go into the etymology of that, it means help. You betraying your Yahushua.
Yeah. Which is our integrity.
Yep.
You know, the scriptures speak about, and I believe that's 1 Maccabees 6, might be 2 Maccabees 6 with Eliezer. You know, even though they wanted to feed him the
Second
morsels.
Maccabees.
2 Maccabees 6. You know, even though they wanted to feed him, you know, beef, and it was like, well, just act like it's pork.
Right.
He's like, nah, man, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm gonna still be leading my people astray. It shows you the mindset of his integrity. All right, he didn't get weak in that moment.
Right.
Yahushua had a weak moment, but then what? He did what? He went straight way and finished the mission, man.
Gird up his loins.
He girded up his loins. You see?
Yeah.
And that's the point of the matter. You have to fight like the brother Amawai did the lesson on a week or two back, rebuking your thoughts, man. You know? That's the point of these video epistles going out.
Right.
Because in the times of trouble, certain things should click in your head and say, oh, this is what brothers was talking about. You on the phone, you know, talking with brothers, this is what we talking about, man. You know?
Yeah.
But y'all want to say anything, make any points?
Nah, we
Close it out.
actually brought out my point, man, that fear.
I still had that Maccabees too.
Okay. Yeah, we gonna
You
end it
got it.
off on that.
You want it? Come on. This is First Maccabees chapter 2. Let me go.
Yeah.
This is First Maccabees chapter 2 in 64. It says, "Wherefore ye, my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law,
Mm-hmm.
for by it shall ye obtain glory."
Yeah, for by it ye shall obtain glory. All right, but we have to do what? Remember this. All right, be valiant, and we have to show ourselves men. You see, the furnace proveth the potter's vessel. Right.
That's right.
So, hey man, what end is gonna be? Is it gonna be for you? You know, you gonna what? Become part of that dross, all right? Or you gonna stand out, all right, and be pure as that gold, right? When that fire get put to it, you know, or you gonna become weak, you know? Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, man, we already done lived a life of suffering. We're suffering a little bit more,
That's it.
Right.
you know. And I'm gonna say this because the Lord made it easier for us. All right, through this word, through this truth, all right, we have been set free from the bounds that bound the minds of these people. Okay, you know, different worries, like it tell you in what is that? 2 Timothy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it tell you, you know, these people are entangled in the snares of this life.
Yep.
All right, the Lord has freed us from that. Yes, we go through things, but we understand. But this, you know, this is just for a short moment.
That's it.
You know, so what's going through a little bit more, okay, to gain everything.
Tell you that in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter,
Yep,
that these light afflictions is just a moment.
just for a small moment, man.
What's a couple months, all right, couple years to eternity, man? You know,
To obtain something that nobody else can say that they will be able to obtain ever again,
all right.
ever again. You ain't gonna get no second shot, all right, to be a first fruit.
Hey, man.
It's one go around, man.
Yeah, I got a lesson lined up. I can't wait to get that one off. that first sample. You know, it's nothing like that first sample being of the first, because it's never happening again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the beauty and the worth that's put on being first.
Right.
You know, but
You got it, dog.
that's it for me.
Yeah, man. So, you know, that's pretty much the point of the lesson. You know, we put these exhortations, all right, and these video epistles up, you know, because these are certain things brothers deal with, man.
Right.
All right? But now ain't the time for it, all right? Prophecy is passing, you know, especially in the time of the Passover. You know, brothers always mention, you know, that, hey, man, the house of Israel being sifted, you know. So now ain't the time for you to get weak, man. You know, so with that, we're gonna give our praises, glory, infinite honors to Yahweh. Double honors once again to your apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom, Rabarakim, Lavacharim. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.